Hello YouTube, this is a transmission from the Hermit of Mink Hollow. This will be a review of the "Lost album" Homegrown by recording artist Neil Young. Officially it is the 40th studio album of Neil Young's solo career. But the original project was actually recorded between the last months of 1974 and January 1975 before being scrapped by Young himself. Although some tracks were dished out to other albums, the original project called Homegrown was shelved. Until now, June 2020. But not really. It's important to remember Neil Young had considered as many as 24 plus tracks for inclusion. But this official release has only a dozen selections. Which is the first disappointment. Why not 2 CDs worth of material or an exhaustive box set from every session plus a booklet? Especially for an album which was considered something of a holy grail, a lost classic. An album that could hold its own compared to such masterworks as After the Gold Rush, Harvest, Comes a Time, American Stars and Bars, Harvest Moon, Prairie Moon and so forth. Why was Homegrown not released anyway? According to the excellent biography Shaky by Jimmy McDonough, Young refused to circulate it because he deemed the songs too painful for him to listen to. Homegrown was conceived as a "breakup album" about Young's disintegrating relationship with actress Carrie Snodgrass. Although they shared a son, their relationship was unstable. Known songs about Carrie include Revolution Blues, A Man Needs a Maid and Motion Pictures. According to McDonough, Young played the then unreleased albums, Homegrown and Tonight's the Night back-to-back for a select group of musicians at the Chateau Marmont in Hollywood, including members of the group, the band, some of who guested on Homegrown. Allegedly bassist Rick Danko told Neil, "Go with the raw one," meaning Tonight's the Night. Tonight's the Night is a song cycle about the deaths from drug addiction of members of Young's inner circle. Although the album nor the supporting tour were well received at the time, the album has come to be seen as a classic, an uncompromising work of art centered upon a bleak topic. Enough with the opening exposition. What about the music? Does it still hold up today, and where does it rank in the Neil Young canon? Homegrown is not quite the masterpiece the press is currently making it out to be. For a popular record to be a masterpiece, every song on the album has to be great, for there to be absolutely no filler. Or if there is filler, you can forgive the momentary letdown. Every song has to be essential listening. It has to override a contemporary desire to just listen to your favorite song or favorite parts. Sonically and thematically it should hold together and sustain your interest over the duration. You should want to listen to it in its entirety. The idea that I could lope off tracks and edit a better EP from Homegrown means it isn't quite a masterpiece. We Don't Smoke It No More, a long tedious blues rocker, wouldn't make the cut, nor would an alternate version of the title tune, which is not the great version which ends the great album from 1977, American Stars and Bars. And I bet that even the hardiest of Neil Young fans will soon tire of the bizarre spoken word piece, Florida, which sounds like Captain Beefheart imitating Rod Serling from The Twilight Zone. And I think the version of the deep cut number Love Is a Rose is like a clunky demo. But what's left here is primo enough Neil Young. Separate Ways, Try, Kansas, Vacancy, White Line and the moving version of Star of Bethlehem with Emmylou Harris providing angelic backing vocals, later included on American Stars and Bars, would have been worthy of inclusion on any classic Young recording from that period, like After the Gold Rush, On the Beach and of course Harvest. This sextet alone would be a compelling country rock suite, brimming with beauty and ache. But 2 brief superlative ballads extend into the stratosphere and rank in the upper echelon of all Neil Young tunes. Mexico is less than 1 minute and 50 seconds. Just piano, voice, and simple yet evocative lyrics, which seem to bounce from adult to childhood melancholy, pitting your stomach the entire way. Mexico sounds more like a lost Brian Wilson tune from the Beach Boys' aborted classic record, Smile, than even some of Young's piano ballads. And although nakedly recorded, it does recall some of the beautiful expansive early work of Learning to Fly and Broken Arrow, which featured cinematic orchestration from Jack Nish, an important early collaborator in his career. Little Wing is not the Jimi Hendrix classic of the same title, but a Neil Young original which shares those 2 hallowed words. Both are celestial ballads, stunning capsules of their overlapping careers. The former is a R&B ballad worthy of Curtis Mayfield, whose rhythm guitar playing was always an influence on Hendrix. Its outro guitar solo impacts like volcanic liquid blues. The latter is a short, gorgeous rhapsody also about the power of love, imagining a woman as an angelic creature too good for this world of ours. On both Mexico and Little Wing we are reminded of how unconventionally pretty Young's voice can be. If Harvest and After the Gold Rush are first-tier Neil Young releases, Homegrown is second-tier. Which isn't bad company. Not when your shelf mates include Harvest Moon, Comes a Time, Freedom, Americana and Prairie Wind. Homegrown's best songs float it toward the top, but its lesser moments sink it back down. It's essential for Neil Young fans but also one you should heartily recommend to the non-devotees. To anyone you think might have a quote heart of gold unquote. This has been a transmission from the Hermit of Mink Hollow. Keep on rockin' in the free world.